Hello, my name is Joseph Kane. I'd like to inform everybody about the signs of one who has autism. I am very different, not less. What does that mean? I may have autism, I may be different, but I am not less of a person because of it. All autistic people have common traits, but no two are exactly 100% the same. I have some family members who are autistic, one being my son. I take this personally because I too show signs of autism. I have done extensive research on the matter. I will focus on three main characteristics of all autistic people and what they have in common. One is lack of understanding of social cues, another is lacking empathy, and the third and final is lacking social skills. Now, what exactly makes one autistic? One might assume that these people are just being quiet and shy. It may even be hard to detect an autistic person from someone shy or reserved. But let's take a closer look at one of the characteristics they all have in common: lacking social skills. Autistic people have a hard time with communication. This usually begins in early childhood, but then no typical kids can easily rely on each other kids as most kids do. According to National Institute, many people with ASD find social interactions difficult. The mutual give and take nature of typical communication and interaction is often challenging. Many fail and respond to names, avoid eye contact with others, and only interact with others to achieve a goal. Even though communication is it does improve with age, enough to live and work independently. With age comes with wisdom. Well, for autistic people, aging with some communication issues, but not without assistance to get to that point. The National Institute claims that symptoms improve with age. Help may last a lifetime depending on how severe it is, because it can communicate, improve. One can easily work and live by themselves. People with ASD usually continue to need services and supports as they get older, depending as the severity of the ASD. Overall, some people may appear to be strange, seem rude, shy, but now you can see it could be another reason why they are these things. They could be autistic. The next sign I want to focus on is lacking empathy. Lacking empathy isn't always negative, but most people view it as someone who not empathetic enough is cruel or mean. Usually serial killers are always said they're empathetic. The truth is that person may be autistic and mean or cruel. What exactly is lacking empathy? According to the Ascension Glossary, one who lacks empathy is one with no feelings or remorse. Now, why is that bad? There's nothing with someone not showing empathy. It could protect one from the pain of a broken heart, but in most situations, if one is not empathetic, they're viewing as cold-blooded or showing no remorse. They may be no help to someone in need. In some situations, one needs to show compassion. Ascension Glossary states that compassion and sympathy are two terms that many associate with empathy, but all three of these terms are unique. Compassion is an emotion we feel when we see others in need, which motivates us to help them. Sympathy is a feeling of care and understanding for someone in need. If one lacks empathy, like many autistic people do, they may not be there to help someone when they are in need. Examples include friends when they're in trouble, relationships, or a death member. They just don't feel the same thing that you feel. They would alienate friends who don't understand their autism because they come off as unfeeling. And if someone is dying or sick on the street, if one lacks empathy and the ability to feel compassion, they wouldn't care about the person on the street. Autistic people may not understand the emotions enough to help them. They may leave it to someone else to do because, remember, they are not social creatures. They lack empathy. Overall, one lacks empathy. He or she is viewed as harshly. Those who are ignorant to other possibilities and why one might lack empathy. They are judged harshly without knowing the person's completely first. One final sign I want to discuss is not understanding social cues. Why do we have to understand social cues? According to Wright, social cues requires facial expressions, body language, voice, pitch, and tone, all the things you need. We use facial expressions to express how we feel. We use body language to communicate things like we don't know something or we're tired. We can offend some if we show signs of how body that sends mixed signals to others, or if we do not use proper body language because we do not know how. In the case of many with autism, if we don't have the right voice pitch or tone, someone can take one's voice negatively, or a person with social issues won't get a joke when it's said. Some people can't read into sarcasm. They can take it literally. According to right personal space, social cue is important too, because if we move away from one, we're telling them we want to keep our distance. But if we move close, we're not interested in that person. Not understanding this cue would send a wrong signal to someone in if you're too far away or too close and don't want to be. This is how most autistic people are. They don't get cues. One, because of not understanding social cue is autism. The understanding of feeling is being able to understand the social cues. We give off feelings with facial expressions, body language, and our tone. But National Institute says that people with ASD may find it difficult to understand other people's feelings or talk about their own because they can't relate to others. They come off as cruel, a jerk, heartless. It's their fault, though. Overall, some people may be rude, uncaring, inconsiderate, or reserved, but don't always judge a book by its cover. That's rude, uncaring, inconsiderate person may be autistic. It may not be their fault. The main sign of autism is lacking empathy, not understanding social cues, and lacking social skills. You may have the ability to detect the one who is autistic, or you may not. Most high-functioning autistic people look just like me or you. I don't know if I have it, so they look like everybody. You can also tell by their looks. Now you can't tell by their looks. Now you have the sign that I hope will give someone, consider the next time you run into someone who does not get your cue, who appears to be rude, unfeeling, quiet, inconsiderate. You will know it might be that person. Can't help how he or she. They don't call it a disorder, right? Thank you.